The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Get ready to be amazed. Get ready to know things that are usually unknowable. Get ready for an hour of insight and fascinating entertainment with Dr. Linda Salvin. For nearly 3 decades, Dr. Linda has been one of America's most celebrated psychic readers, metaphysical clinicians, and unmatched talk show hosts, bringing insights and solutions to thousands of people worldwide. Pull up a chair, turn it up, and get ready for a visit with the one and only Dr. Linda. And now, live from Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Linda Salvin.
Hi there. How you doing, everybody? This is Dr. Linda Salvin, and today is Thursday, so it's Starlight Café, where the spirit meets reality. Or is it reality meets the spirit? That's what we find out at the end of every episode of this show. Starlight Café actually started in 1994 on an FM station. Maybe it was AM. No, it was an AM station, come to think of it. It was back in the old days of real radio, and AM and FM when talk radio was huge back in the 90s and earlier than that. But here we are on the digital platforms of 2023 and moving forward with all of the opportunities that we have on Facebook and YouTube and iHeart and iTunes and Dr. Linda Radio, which is my station, which I hope you go to and listen to all the replays. And stream. I stream constantly. The topic today is humor. Humor helps us feel better. Humor is part of feeling good, staying healthy, and making other people feel good with a joke. Like I cracked a joke at some store yesterday. A girl asked when I was at the market if I wanted my receipt. I said, no, it's not tax deductible. She looked at me like I had 3 eyeballs. She goes, what's so funny? I said, you don't understand that this is not tax deductible, right? She just looked at me and was like, never mind. I was trying to make a joke. Some people didn't get it. People that understand business taxation and deductions would find it funny. Like, no, my pineapple's not deductible. Anyway, I did stand-up comedy for about 8 years back in the 80s. After I was in a plane crash, I was trying to figure out where I wanted to go. And I was in New York, and I was offered a comedy manager. And for some reason, when I got back to LA, I never called the guy. I still have his business card. But I know comedians. And there's going to be Tom Dreesen's going to be on the show in another month and a half. He used to open up for Frank Sinatra. So you'll get comedians on the show. You'll get musicians on the show. You get my clients on the show testify about channeling, readings, candle magic. And one of those people who's a friend of mine who's also been on the show, her name is Gina Destito. She's going to be joining us today along with the famous reality star, Johnny Venokur. I wanted to bring Johnny on so we can say hi and get him going into, there you go. Hi, Johnny. Welcome to the Starlight Cafe.
I am truthfully honored, Linda Salvin, to be with you today and to be a guest. I know a lot about you and all good things. And you know what? I believe it was in the stars that I was supposed to meet you. And of course, Gina, who's coming on the show, is a wonderful friend, and we've worked together on many projects. And I look forward to working on our project, Linda Salvin.
So we are creating a TV show. Yeah. So let me just tout it before we get into you. I have a psychic in England. She said, and this is last December, that there would be a John or a Johnny coming to me to take me to the next level with a project. And of course, I have Starlight Cafe, which I've had since 1994, which is a TV idea. And it's been with the Writers Guild forever, and it's been bounced around, and it's called a treatment for those that don't understand. And then I get a phone call from Gina in the springtime. She goes, Linda, I've got a friend who wants to do your show. They need a metaphysical person. I said, what? I've got the show. So I sent them the treatment. Oh my God, this is what you want to do. Then I meet Johnny. I said, you're not going to believe this, but you were predicted 5 months ago. So people, I'm a psychic. When I give you predictions, things start happening. I go to psychics. Johnny's happening. We are getting together with Gina. Let's bring Gina on. We'll have a little party.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Gina. Gina was the conduit to Johnny. Johnny came out of a reading from Wendy in England. Here we are now. We're filming or taping in October, and it's all going to start happening now that the writer's strike is over. But yes, there's a serendipity. There is a flow in life. When you get out of the results or trying to manipulate, you let go, let God, you let the universe. I'm getting goosebumps. And the goosebumps, of course, is the confirmation of spirit. Things start happening beautifully. So, Johnny, welcome to the Starlight Cafe, where the spirit meets reality. Or is it reality meets the spirit? That's what we find out, right? So this is part of that.
Yeah, this is what we find out, exactly. I find that out every day. You know, I am an entertainment life coach and speaker, and I love changing lives. I love talking to the guy that's driving me around the block, the cab driver, and I love at the end of the ride when he says, you know, Johnny, thank you for talking to me. He meant it, because I come from the greatest spirit. I come from the truth. And I love to lift people up, because that's what we should all do every day of our lives.
There's a fulfillment in it. You know, like when you're on stage, Johnny, doing a comedy routine, and I think the longest I ever was given was like 8 to 10 minutes. I know you've done longer episodes but when you're making those 1, 2, 3, hit the punch, 1, 2, 3, hit the punch, people don't know that there's a format and a timing and everything. Think, oh, you're just so funny. They don't understand the work, the rehearsal, the writing. They don't understand the work. They think you get up on stage, you tell jokes. No. But when you're up there and the lights are on, you've got your hecklers, you've got your bad nights, your good nights. But when that applause comes, or somebody is crying so hard, they're crying. They're laughing so hard, they're crying. You've done your job. Just like with the cab driver, it doesn't matter where we are.
Yeah.
Like yesterday at the checkout stand at the store, I thought, make her laugh. She missed the joke. Like, no, it's not tax deductible. Don't need the receipt. But it's fun, but it's rewarding, because we have to be of service to the next person. How did you get involved with comedy to even start that career? It's one of the hardest and most vulnerable out of all the.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, I was always funny. But as a young man, I thought, well, how can I be funny and be Al Pacino at the same time? So an agent, absolutely, an agent turned to me, Michael Masser from APA, and he says, Johnny, what are you doing? I mean, who are you? What are you thinking about? He said, well, I said, I'm a serious actor, and yeah, that's who I am. He said, Johnny, you couldn't be serious if you tried with all your might. And from that day, I really entertained comedy. I was back east at Catch a Rising Star as a very young man. And
I was at Catch a Rising Star in 1993.
Well, the truth is,
you're not there anymore, right?
Well, Linda, it closed. And Linda, the truth is, I don't know why we haven't gone on a date or something, just to really find out who we are.
Johnny, you just got back to LA. You've been gone for 6 months during the strike. Gina tried to get us together.
I have been gone. But you know what? Life is great. I was asked to come out to Las Vegas to do a show called Famous in Las Vegas. And I really got to entertain, the tourists, the great performers on the street, and always the great performers in all the hotels, magicians and comedians.
When you're billed, and give me the name of the show so the people out there can Google you later. The name of the show is The Greatest Entertainer, the most popular reality star, America's favorite reality star. What's your total billing, Johnny?
My total billing?
Yeah, the name, the title. When people look for
the billing, yeah.
When you're on Vegas Strip, when you're out there.
Famous in Las Vegas is what you'll see. You'll see that title. Attached to that title is America's favorite reality star. I was on a show for. I was on a show. Well, I was at the Flamingo, and we're going to have a live show in Las Vegas that lends to the reality world. That's as much as I could tell you about that right now.
I understand.
But I was, I was on a show for several years with the wonderful, amazing Scott Baio. I was going to give his middle name, Scott Baio, and we know each other since kids. And they ended up putting us on TV on VH1. And I was a
That's why before the
producer.
internet, people, this is dating. This is how it all gets started. A
Yeah,
lot of people don't
exactly.
know that. Go on.
Yeah,
Fine.
nothing happens in a moment, and if it does, somehow, some way, it's going to cost you. But the show was a big, huge hit with Scott Baio, 45 and single, and I was a director, producer. I was a lot, and the great. Character Johnny V, which became famous, I would say, worldwide. And that opened a lot of doors for me as a producer, as a funny man, and so forth. So they called me back not that long ago to Las Vegas to do the show Famous in Las Vegas, where I get to sit with Rich Little, the great, wonderful
Right.
Rich
Oh, I
Little.
love him.
And
Yeah.
and then I talked to Copperfield, Penn and Teller, and all the great performers in Vegas that hopefully will help me rise to the top again. There's a song there somewhere,
Yeah,
but
there is.
what's so wonderful? I'll tell you, Linda. I was doing some improv work at the Bellagio, and I was dancing, and I didn't say much. I danced and connected. I connected to a young lady who was autistic and her mother, and I don't think they'll ever remember those moments that they danced at the Bellagio with the great and wonderful Johnny V,
They were probably
because I
still out
always
of their
bring my
body and
heart.
happy.
I always bring my heart into it in my soul because I want to pass that on. We must do that. And funny is so important. Oh my God, Linda, I tell everyone, including customer service at Sprint, I say, listen, I'm begging you, if you didn't learn anything today, I'm begging you, just find the funny somewhere. Find the funny, and you will feel a whole lot better. And we all need to really,
Today's day and age, you don't need me to go over it, or Gina, but there's a lot of negativity and a lot of confusion, a lot of fear, a lot of controversy, a lot of conspiracy. We don't know if we're coming or going, if we're going to die or not, if there's nuclear war on the edge. We don't know what's going on. All we know is somewhere in the moment, we need to stay focused, grounded, and yes, laugh and try to find some humor. We all have pain. I talk about it all the time. We all suffer from something. We're human, but the joy has to be there as well, because it's the opposite. And a lot of times, and you don't need me to say this, but some of the most depressed people on the planet are the comedians, because it's the only way we can release our stuff. But there's the joy of the sparkle of somebody else smiling.
Well, here's what I believe, Linda. We always direct our attention to the entertainment business, but let's be honest. It could be your doctor. It could be the pilot flying your plane. Linda, it could be anybody. It's all relative.
It's the trash collector. It's the person.
Yeah, we don't. It's the old.
Don't bag anymore.
It's the old story, like the Robin Williams situation. We don't know. That's why there's no. You have no choice but to make the right choice.
Right.
To make the right choice, and that is, bring the humor into the life of anyone you meet today and tomorrow and the next day.
Let's go back to who you meet, which is Gina, who you've known almost all your life. How did you two meet?
Yes. Well, Gina, you first.
Well, we met on basically, we were right there in the middle of Hollywood. We were at an event, and I had a dear friend of mine who said, there's a man that you need to meet. And we met, and it was kismet. And you're talking about laughter, and I know both of you realize that laughter heals the soul.
Yep.
And laughter actually changes the very way your cells and your very...
The serotonin stimulated, as is the dopamine. Yep.
It heals, truly, it has shifted people, and no matter where they are in the dynamic of any type of diagnosis, from cancer to pain to hospice, that laughter and that joy that you
is the hope of the moment. Mm-hmm.
And that
you guys look like you could be related. Have people said that?
A lot of people have said that. Yes.
Yeah, you have a very similar facial makeup in the way that you guys look. It could be brother and sister.
Coming from New York and
Italian.
And having that Italian, that chutzpah, that Jewish.
Well, that's Jewish.
And he knew Mama Celeste as my mom, our biggest and greatest angel. And even back to the spirituality, this gelatinous body of layered skin we are all frequency, and that's
we
where
are.
that spirit meets that reality. And I can still feel her, and I know that she's there.
I just got chills.
Right, and the
Well,
energy brings all of us together, and
Yeah.
that right there is, for the people that are watching this, the times that you think that you're losing your mind, that you see a wisp coming past you, or you feel something, it is just dimensional shift of that frequency.
And that's exactly what the world's going through right now, that a lot of people are on that bandwagon and they're going for the ride, and others are freaking out and don't want to grow, and they stay in the more what I call lower ethereal fields, and I try to like lift it. And that's where the candles, which you've done, like wicks of wisdom, come in to remove blocks, obstacles, negativity, curses, bad luck, and lift the problems, or heal people, or open doors for money, success, projects, getting production going. Thankfully, because I was hitting the wall, I kept calling Gina. We got to talk to Johnny. We got to talk to Johnny. That 6 month of the strike gets everybody down, and it was like, no, one more time. I promise there's a show, and then it goes away. This time it's going to happen. The train's coming, and I'm on that deck. But
well, Linda,
patience, faith.
I just want to say that Linda. I was saying about Gina is a pretty amazing person. I mean,
Gina's
everyone
amazing.
should have a Gina in their lives, because she's pretty amazing and oh so smart, and greatly appreciated. I mean, what she brings to the table in business and in just in humor and in life is really just pretty amazing.
You know how Gina and I met? Was it 3 years ago? 3 years ago, we were at a convention in Vegas for the nucleogenics, which is the DNA nutrition that I promote on all the shows, that if you swab your cheeks and get a DNA map, and then you take the customized clinical dose nutritional product. And Gina came up to me and said, when we go out to the pool, and I'm pretty shy at this age and with a bathing suit, and I was like, are you sure? But I went out, then I realized I wasn't the only large woman, or full body woman in Vegas, almost the age of 70, hanging out at the pool. But we had so much fun. And the picture on my phone is Gina and me in our bathing suits smiling. But we had an instant connection, like sisters of past lives that were brought together instantly. And there are other people I met there that I'm in touch with, but it does.
Johnny was too. Johnny was there too.
But I didn't meet Johnny. We met. What's his name? Mike.
Right.
Well,
we all went out to lunch, but there was that disconnect. You met each other.
So Johnny was in that crowd too for the lunch when we were all in line at the pool.
Yes.
Awesome. We missed it. I missed it. But anyway, here we are again, because we've talked a few times since. Are you taking the product? Are you into the product, Johnny?
I'm into the product, and just have to figure it out. I'm so careful with what.
I have a better one for you. I have a better one for you. Yes, and I talk about it.
Will it make me tall?
That it won't. But what it will do, it'll detox all the glyphosates and poisons in your body, and it'll get rid of parasites. You'll clean out your body, and it'll be fresher than anything.
I have a friend of mine calls me from New Jersey all the time. She said, Johnny, forget the oatmeal. It has all those glyphosates.
It has glyphosates.
No. But she also told me, she says, there is one. I don't know if it's Trader Joe's or Whole Foods with no glyphosates, it says. But she said to me, you know what? Oatmeal really isn't going to do much for you, Johnny. And I got to be careful of my sugar anyway. So anyway, it was just funny, because that's the first time I heard glyphosates. Because a lot of, as we know, a lot of what we don't know, hopefully we'll know someday. But
what's been happening is that they're spraying all the crops with the glyphosates. They have been since 1980. There's a new company out that I just did a show on the Tuesday show with Sharon Winters. Last week we did a show called, I think it was How to Detox the Body, but there's a company out there called Appeal Sciences. And Appeal Sciences raised almost $7 million from Oprah, Gates, Katy Perry, and all these other people to put together a new company with a new pesticide on the organic fruits and vegetables to elongate their shelf life. But what it does when we eat it makes us sick with more glyphosates. So it's everywhere in everything. They're injecting cows and meat with the glyphosate. So what I have on this other product is to detox your body so you can still eat, but you won't get sick. It'll eliminate your risk of disease for later, which is what they're trying to do, is keep you sick, to be more dependent on the medication, to keep you in the wheel. But there are some real pure nutritional products. I'll talk to you about it off the air. But yeah, glyphosates are real. It's become more of a topic lately because more and more people are becoming aware that there's more out there. But it's, if they spray all the fields, avocados, oranges, pears, apples, pineapple, you can't escape it. It's you don't feel it, but it builds up in our body.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, well, there's so much.
How can you make a joke out of glyphosates?
Well, glyphosate, well, I mean, I can't really, except, you have to eat your oatmeal. So, a little glyphosate is not going to kill you, especially that particular day.
No,
later on down the line.
It gives you gut health problems. It gives you leaky gut. It cuts up the gut.
Right. And I have to have a good gut to really move forward in my life. It's got to look good. 98% of
all disease starts in the gut, but your laughter keeps your gut going.
Right. That's true. A lot of things get me going, but one of them is my gut.
Johnny, share with us your background as far as how you work with actors and life coaching. And there's that funny Johnny, but you have a touch with spirit and you're able to touch with people. And share a story for how you went to go ahead and help some of these people, some of those life, like that life pearl that you can go share with the audience.
Yeah, you're teaching, but you come from the heart and soul, and that's what it's about, because you're not robotic. I know some people that have no personality. They can be on a red carpet like this, but there's no light, right?
Right. And those no light shouldn't charge as much as they charge. But you know what I mean? Listen, it should say, I got no light, I'm going to give you a great discount. But I do have the light, and I have had it probably since I've been 10. Because when you realize your greatness and your greatest talents, you go back in your life and you go, I mean, what was I doing when I was just a little Johnny V? And were there any signs of greatness? And of course, the answer is yes. And there are things I did as a young Johnny Venokur, and I realized the journey I was taking, because the journey is now. But what we do when we're back in the day has a lot to do with it. I love to spread the wealth. I have a great talent to take people and help them shine and rise to a great place and get out of their cells and all the stuff that is holding them back. This is what I have a talent for. Nobody leaves me without rising to the top.
Because you have a discerning mind, as I do. It's very similar because of the comedy, because of the coaching. You and I are very similar people, talent. I do the same thing as a psychic, where I can discern the person's problem. They're severely depressed or whatever, but by the time I'm halfway through my session, there's laughter or they're crying. And it's the same thing with you. You get them to take off that veil, and all of a sudden they see it's not as bad. You spark it, and that's a gift. Not everybody can do that.
No, and you know, Linda, they want to take off the veil.
They don't know how.
They don't know how. And that's where people like you and I and Gina really rise to that place, because we can't go a day without having people take off their veils. They're stuck. They're stuck in misery.
They're stuck in people that don't want to hear it, or all of a sudden they don't like you, then they're backstabbing you, and then you're in this other field of energy.
Yeah.
Then you realize what's wrong with me. It's not you, it's them. We're just on a different frequency.
Linda, I was with a young man. He was a singer, and I was going through some things with him. He said, Johnny, I was managed by Nick Cannon. I says, wonderful, wow. And then he proceeds to tell me, well, but things didn't work out. I don't like Nick Cannon, but I says, hold on. Shh. I said, tell me the good story. Save that story, I don't know, maybe for your mama, your girlfriend, but tell me the good story. You don't even know me. But I can bet you I'm going to remember that bad story. I know it. And I have never forgotten that story. And I tell everyone, tell the good story of you. There is a great story of you, no matter how horrific your times are right now. There is the great story. I'm telling you, you can get to it. You can get, and what a joyous moment when you go, wow, I actually escaped the horror of my life and I feel good today. No, I'm not talking about next week or the week after. I'm talking about feeling good
Every day is
today.
different, but if
Oh
we
my
get in the
God.
moment, right?
I know, but I'm saying,
But you're
get,
right. You're
get
absolutely
in
right. And a
touch.
lot of people
Get
don't
in
see
touch
that.
with your truth. Get in touch with your joy. Oh my God, Gina, right? No matter what we're going through, whatever life brings, what comes, we don't even know how we're laughing and how
Well, you
happy
know,
we are. And
Now,
it's not
Gina's been going
a,
through some traumatic
I know,
challenges,
I know,
and
I
by the
know,
grace of God and a couple other people, places, and things, and
I
some
know,
candle
I know.
magic, we've lifted that dark boundary, and now she's been open for the rest of the year to do more. And what the sentencing might be is not going to be, and what we thought was the worst a year ago is so far removed, which is why we're all together, and it'll continue rolling forward. But sometimes you can't move mountains without someone helping you.
You,
Sometimes you need help.
and
well,
I,
when I was
and by the way, Linda, but let me just say one thing, because I'll forget. That's so important. Who
Oh,
don't we tell to reach out? That's okay. You're not a loser. You're not in a bad way. So you reveal a little bit about you. Reach out and get better and feel good. My God, reach out to the people that can really, join
support you,
forces
help
with
you.
you.
Yeah,
And you know what I
yeah.
mean? But a lot of people are very like, oh, no, 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 no. I don't.
They can do
I'm
it on
good.
their own, or you're
I'm
not part
good.
of my group, or it's
You
too
know, a guy
pretentious.
came up, a buddy of mine came up to me, and I'll tell you who it is. It was Scott Baio's brother. It was been my friend forever. And he said to me, Johnny, I'm been seeing a therapist, I think he said to me. And he said, you know me, Johnny. That's not me. I said, well, it's
Not
not me. It's not me. But this is what he said, Johnny, I have never accomplished more in my life than right now because of that help that I got.
so
Get
many
the
people
help.
are afraid
And
to
by the
look
way, I'll never
inside.
judge. And Linda, I'll never judge anyone. I don't care where you get the help from. If it's good, it's honest, and it's real. Oh my God, I'm all
And
for
Gina
it.
knows I'm real, and that's what I tout. Go on, Gina, because there's a lot
well,
of charlatans out there in my world.
everything that you're saying, the idea of, the old adage of fake it till you make it,
Mhm.
that's not necessarily but putting yourself in the mindset that anything that has happened to you previously does not define who you are and what you are in this moment. That it's not a moment before, it's not a moment after, but being able to go ahead, just like you're saying, speak to others around you, ask for that help, get outside of your own ego. And ego stands for edge God
Edging
out.
God out. Yep.
Right. And seeking people with knowledge like you, Linda, people with knowledge like you, Johnny, people, also with me, because even though we're going through our own cadence, the best thing that we can possibly do as people is to help others, and then it really truly reflects, and we end up helping ourselves. And so when we
Right.
come through that
A
Mm.
healer
negative,
needs a healer kind of thing. I go to healers because I can heal everybody, but then I'm so stuck in all their energy, I need to get it off of me. And I have a chiropractor that calls me, I don't know, a couple times a week. I've known since '06, who heard me on radio. And he, with all the energy he collects from his patients up north, he comes to me to get the schmutz off of him. And it all rotates so that we can all cleanse. It's not just about sage, it's more than that. It's real energy. But yeah, no, we help each other.
and underscoring laughter, that there are laugh classes. I mean, and what people can do that are watching right now, just literally for a minute at a time, belly laugh, ha ha ha. Don't wait for it. Actually force it. It will change everything in your life.
Yeah,
And
because
when
you're in that mindset, oh, nobody likes me, I don't have a job, oh, poor me, he left me, or whatever. Blah, blah. Then all of a sudden you either turn on the TV or something, or you think of something funny that happened, or and then start giggling to yourself, and next thing you know, like you're saying, you're letting out that belly laugh, and like Johnny knows, when you're on stage or you're talking to somebody, you've struck somebody's funny bone, and they laugh so hard the tears come down. That's the beauty of laughter and I used to do that with my mom. We'd laugh so hard we would both cry, and it was always stupid stuff, but we had that chemistry, But comedy is difficult, but when you've got a gift like what Johnny has to touch the hearts of people, doesn't mean you have to be the #1 comedian in the world, because some of them aren't that funny, but they made it anyway. That's another topic. But Johnny, I get you doing a couple more huge shows in Vegas by next July. I know my show with you and Gina, the Starlight Café, is going to come to life, and this is parts of it. We bring on different special people that have talents and different celebs and go through their experiences and strengths, and then we have some music or we have a little skit or whatever. It all comes together. It could be, Carol Burnett a la metaphysics is the way I've always kind of coined it. Okay, so you get the visual, but it's because you've got concept in your brain. You've got the creative diagnostic method to say, oh, here's the raw material. This is what she thinks. This is how Gina thinks. This is what I want. And it packages, and boom, you're going to have a baby born. And that's what you do with your routine. How did you get to the point in your routine after all these years of either move? Well, talk about some of the movies. Rebel. By the way, Rebel has some of your posters and some photos of you. Let's bring them on. There we go. So here's My Life as Johnny V, book impressions. So talk about this for a moment. What is this poster from? And is this about your book? Is this you on stage? Because here's different pictures of you. So talk about this.
Right. Well, that is that is the actual, similar to what the book cover is, but it also talks about a bit about my journey and so forth. So it really relates to the show. And there's a docu-film over at Netflix that is My Life as Johnny V, America's favorite reality star.
Rebel. Maybe you can move it over, put it in a corner so we're not blocking Gina. Maybe there's a way to set that up so we can see it, because I want to use that. Then there's 2 other photos that Johnny sent me to show, and I cropped them to make it a little more. There we go. So where was this?
That was me supporting. I was involved with a group. I don't know if you know who Matt Sorum is. He's a famous drummer, and I was dealing with him and putting a project together. And the people behind me at that location is a group that it was potentially a Vegas entity. So I was out supporting the great talent that I surround myself with, who were singers. It was an all-woman group, and that's where I was that particular day. But I love always meeting new talent, a great talent. I was, my partner and one I work with quite often is Billy Ryback, one of the co-exec producers of Home Improvement. But we have 2 shows together, a half-hour scripted show, and we also have a reality show together. Right now I'm involved with a few areas. I'm actually, as we speak, right when I get off the line with you, the whole crew gets on. It's regarding a show in Las Vegas that lends to private detectives. And my partner...
I see 3 huge shows, 2 big shows for you next year by summertime, big in Vegas. I'll be there. I'll drag Gina. We'll come up.
Yes, you have to.
I see it in the summer. I see it in summer, yeah. But you'll be working with Gina and me first. We got to do ours too. You don't get to skip out this time. You're going to do all of it. You're going to be multitasking.
I will never skip out. Guys...
I'm not going to let you. I will do work on you to make you mine.
Yeah,
that show will happen.
More candles, success, and abundance and prosperity. Absolutely.
I like that a lot. I just want to tell your audience, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages. Definitely, through Linda, you can reach me. They'll let you know how to do that, Well,
give out your email address or your website.
Right. Perfect. Because, listen, I'd love to, talk to whoever wants to talk to me. And pretty much my schedule is very full, but I always take the time and so forth. It's a big part of my life to help change lives. It really is, because that's what we do, all three of us. What a team. We are a super team, super duper team. But I am so much having fun. Linda, as Gina knows, being in Las Vegas for several months and putting this program together and interacting with, God, people from every side of the earth and from all facets of life. I mean, I thrive on it. I ran restaurants. I ran restaurants, Linda, in New York. My father owned one of the famous delicatessens, the Stage Delicatessen. I ran restaurants later on. Yeah, and you know what? I loved people. So it was a perfect formula, You love what? You love pastrami. Oh my God, thinly sliced. Oh my God, we got to get to a deli out here. I don't know, there's a couple.
Not many left.
There's a couple.
Now we go to Arts. Okay, go on.
But I'll go to a deli. Yeah, Arts is great, but you know what? I don't not like Cantor's. I enjoy the.
Let me take Cantor's. I'll come over the hill.
I like Cantor's.
I love Cantor's.
That's where you guys need to meet up. You guys got to meet at Cantor's.
Oh yeah, I love Cantor's. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning when the rock and rollers were coming off their stages in the old days, they were all rocking and rolling at Cantor's, drugged out.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah. Hey, listen.
I'll meet you there before then, though. I don't want to.
They're still going. No, they're still going there. They rock and roll. Yeah.
That'd be fun. Let's set something up. I'll meet you at Cantor's.
Yeah. Let's do it. You're on. We'll make
your website. Your website. Do you have a website?
How do you want to have people reach you, Johnny?
Yeah. Well, the way they have to reach me is just through my Instagram, which is Crashin' Johnny V. That's CRASHIN, no G, Johnny V, JOHNNYV, and they can reach me that way. And I respond. I respond, or my assistant responds, but someone will respond to you right away. I look forward to changing lives, and I do. I do that pretty much every day, and so forth.
Well, we'll get together, and the three of us will round robin the next step.
Without a doubt.
With all the other projects you've got and all of the people that you know, we've got about 10 minutes left in the show. What's like one big message on a spiritual level from your family or your experiences in relationships? Because even working with agencies and being on stage and all the crew members, everything's a relationship. What do you think is one of the keys?
It is a relationship, and it's really coming to terms with your real truth. I was told by somebody, a guy by the name of Sam Nicholson, who's one of your number one visual effects guys. He had a great passion, and many of the people I talk to, writers, dancers, actors, etc., comedians, the passion is so important.
I've talked about passion since 1994 on radio.
You know what? It's passion, and people love it. Someone said to me from a network not that long ago, "Oh, Johnny, we appreciate your passion." And I looked around at my partner. I said, "What did he say? Passion? What the hell is that going to do for
your
me?"
Dedication, your love, your enthusiasm.
Yeah, some big directors, producers said once, if you're going to show somebody a script, then you better have a great passion for your script. And really that just means in life, have a great passion, find your passion and find, your truth, because I'm telling you that the truth will set you free. All that other crap, I'm telling you, will take you down to Chinatown. You got to find your truth and just be happy. And when you settle for the truth,
they don't know what their passion is. I said, of course you do. And sometimes I'll take them back to what they loved as a kid versus what happened when they had a couple of kids and a divorce and everything. They get lost in life, and all of a sudden I give them a little kaleidoscope of ideas, and all of a sudden, oh my God, you have me thinking. Oh my God, all of a sudden you turn on that light, and all I do, I say I'm the flashlight. I just want to help you get over the boulders. That's all. But I do have a psychic gift. I am able to make predictions, as Gina knows, and I talk to dead people, as Gina knows, and you haven't experienced that part of my gift yet. But even when I did comedy, I was talking about, I might as well go back and do my music. I've already had my plane crash because, I was in a plane crash. That's how I became psychic. but or I had an out-of-body experience, but they didn't put me back in a thin one. You know, I did the comedy thing, but we can interact. We can put it all together in the new show. It's all the materials there. I just need to put it back out there. People like you will say, "I got it," and let's create this. But the bottom line is, as much pain as we have, there's still the joke, or still the laughter, or still the shot, the God shot. We need a God shot. When Gina came to me devastated, I mean, she drove. I don't know if you know this, and I'm going to bust your privacy for a moment, your anonymity, but she drove from Vegas to LA 5.5 hours to come get what she needed for me to help her out of a serious situation. And she turned around. We went to dinner. I don't even think we went to dinner. She just wanted to get back on the road and go, say, hi, here you go. And everything changed. That is light. That is dedication. That's my passion. Like, sure, you want to drive up? I'll wait for you. Boom, she's here because she's committed. And now she's been on the show. She's got testimonies. We'll have more testimonies around January of even more of what's happened. Same thing with you. I get you into some of these. You'll see some of your projects blow up so quickly. You're going to go, wow. And then they're going to come to you and go, what'd you do? Oh, it's just, you know, it's magic. But that's my job. You get to the next step. Go ahead.
And I just want to chime in on that as far as the word inspiration, where we're talking about that. When you break it in half, it's being in spirit. And that's what we're talking about
that's
here.
True.
Where spirit meets reality. And the conversation that we have with others, and we're talking about laughter, I just want to share with you and also the people that are watching this, if this may touch their heart. If people call people a bully if you're saying something to somebody else, but you also are saying things to yourself, and realize that bullying yourself and self-doubt and self-talk can bully yourself. And when you are in spirit and you truly find that joy, and then you take that moment of laughter, you can shift everything and just literally say, there's a new sheriff in town. I'm not going to follow down that path. And so when you're talking about that in spirit and what you have shared and been there for me, Linda, and what you've shared with me and been there for me, Johnny, that I can truly from my heart say that you are both brothers and sisters of the universe, and I am blessed to know you and be able to call you friends and La Familia.
Oh, well, that's sweet. We bookend each other.
But the question is,
yes.
Do you like me in these glasses? I'm just curious.
I think you need a little smaller frame because the glasses are wearing you versus you wearing the glasses. I'd like to see you in something a little sexier, but that's fun.
Well, I'm gonna take your advice and you get a bigger frame.
No, they're fun, but it's your personality. Like in the photograph that we just showed, when you're wearing them, that's your personality. It's big, and it makes you bigger, and it's controversial. There you go. Hi, there you go. There's Johnny.
Oh my God, do Johnny. I look good? Well, Linda, you too have a great personality. My God, it's so funny. Sometimes we try to be a little reserved. You can't be reserved. Linda, you're a wonderful, amazing personality, for God's sake. You're a loving woman with great things to tell and great teachings to teach. So I'm honored to be here. And then Gina, my God, what a pleasant surprise. Gina, God bless you. My favorite Italian.
And now I'm your favorite Jew.
That's right.
We'll go to Cantor's pastrami.
I want to. A little pastrami, thinly sliced on a thin piece of rye. I'm telling you. Years ago, Linda, they used to come into my father's deli and say, extra grizzle, which was fat. Yeah. So they would ask for extra fat. But now everybody's on the health kick. They go, no, cut that, make it lean, make it, Right.
But they've closed a lot of delis, and you probably can verify this because I was reading how expensive it is to make the corned beef, make the pastrami, and the delis were actually losing money because of the cost involved just to boil all the beef and the meat for so long. Same thing with the bagel factories, making the dough, making the bagels. Right. They've all gone out of business because of the cost involved. And people like my grandparents that got here in the 1930s, they had a bakery in Detroit, and then they were in Cleveland. It all came up during those days. But now, after growing up with delis in the 60s and 70s and 80s, most of them are gone now. You go up the boulevard here in LA, most are closed. There's still a few in town.
Well, I look
New
at it.
York's probably closed down though a lot, right?
Well, so, you know what? Some, but I believe we're making a comeback. And we're going to have all those great delis back. I'm telling you right now. There's a handful out here still.
In Encino, as a plug, there's Uncle Bernie's Deli.
Uncle Bernie's, yeah, that's an Encino.
And
We got
Uncle
Arts and
Bernie
Sherman
happens
Oaks.
to be my real uncle. So I
Right.
am actually related to Uncle Bernie. So if you're looking for a deli out there and you're in Encino, California, find Uncle Bernie's on Ventura.
Yeah.
I have been there and I like it. I like it. Yeah. Very
But I
nice.
think it'd be fun to go to Counters. That would be fun.
Oh no,
for you.
Candace is great. Candace is old school, and it's always got a good vibe. The waitresses and waiters.
It's the waitresses, their personality.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're-
Linda, it's old school. Those people stay. Like in New York, in the delis in New York. Seriously, 30, 40, 50 years. They're working there.
We should send this to them. Let them know we gave shout outs to Counters and Uncle Bernie's.
Oh, I'm
But
telling
we're
you.
doing a shout out for Johnny Venokur, people. He's a writer. He's an actor. He worked with Scott Baio. He's producing or creating my own TV show, which is going to come out probably about a year. It'll take a year to put it all together. So maybe a year from now, I'll be on some cable station besides this. So the Starlight Cafe comes alive, and you're the star of the Starlight Cafe. And then the book is out. Promote the book again, please. What's the name of the book?
The book is Famous in Las Vegas, America's Favorite Reality Star.
And where can they buy it? On Amazon or Barnes & Noble?
It's independent, more than likely Barnes & Noble, but we're going to have a whole, launching, and we're inviting everybody to the launch. It's going to be in Vegas, but it's also going to be televised.
Oh, that'll be so much fun. You'll have to let me know. And maybe what we can do is.
And guys, and I don't know if you're fans of Faith Ford. She played Corky Sherwood and Murphy Brown. She works with me on the book. So a lot of the book it leads to her and I's great, amazing stories in Hollywood and also in New York City. But they're wonderful. And, I look forward to telling these great stories. You can see it through video and also the written word. So I look forward to
it. When it's time to really launch it, we'll get another episode here to help coordinate and book.
Thank you.
Okay, Tony, we've got about 3 minutes left in today's broadcast, people. I'm sitting with my dear friend Gina DiStito and Johnny Venokur, who's a comedian and producer and actor and writer and funny man, as you can tell, but he's got a heart of gold, and so does Gina. And that's what, regardless of what you see up there with all the plastic surgery and the plastic people and all the glitz and glam, a lot of them are so depressed and so unhappy or addicted to drugs or alcohol or sleeping with 1,000 people looking for fulfillment when it's all inside. It's got to start from inside to even appreciate the outside more. Yes, we want the adulation, get on stage. Yeah, you're great, but you still go home alone. I used to go home after a gig, or I'd be at one of the comedy stores or something. I'd go home. I go, well, there's my cats and birds. It's like it still gets lonely. And people don't understand that just because you're out there doesn't mean your whole life is on stage. There's still you.
So
and that's
true.
what you've been showing, that you got to come from within. And Gina says, no matter what goes on out there, whether you're on stage and you're on, covers of things, you still get away from the lights, the glam, and there's you. And dealing with you day by day, with a little bit of laughter makes it a little bit more tolerable. Johnny, you've been great. Gina, I love you to death. I love both of you. This is the end of the Starlight Cafe for today, people. We will be it'll be online for you to watch on all the different channels like iHeart and iTunes and wherever you want to go. And especially drlindaradio.com, or you can go to my YouTube channel at Dr. Linda Salvin. It's everywhere. But I thank you both for coming and becoming stars of the Starlight Cafe, where the spirit meets reality, or is it reality meets the spirit? And that's we find out every Thursday at the end of every episode. You guys keep shining. I love you both. Stay backstage.
Laugh. Yes. Laugh.
Yeah. Don't hang up. We'll be right back after I say goodbye. Stay backstage. Bye, you guys. Thanks. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed today's program with Dr. Linda. Need a breakthrough of your own? Ready for answers or insights nobody else has? Reserve your own one-on-one in-person chat. Dr. Linda isn't just for other people. Dr. Linda gets results for you. And it's easy. Contact details are on screen now. Just click on lindasalvin.com or call toll-free 888 888-509-1077. That's lindasalvin.com or toll free at 888-509-1077.